him.
They should be seeing in another screen. There is another one here.
Oh,
That's what they should be
okay, okay. Okay,
We are speaking through this.
okay, okay, okay. You please let me know when I should begin, because I'm ready.
Maharaj, it's up to you. We are all ready.
Okay. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachyate Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. There we go. That's good. So we're, I hope you're all doing well during this pandemic time. There's a lot of difficulty in the world, and India is not exempt from that difficulty, but you all look like you're doing well. So please be very careful now and going into the future. We don't want to see anybody getting infected, what to speak of worse than infected. Today is your celebration for Govardhana Puja. That's my understanding. So I'll speak something just now about the significance of Govardhana Puja. During this month of Kartik, I've been asked about what's my favorite pastime of Krishna, because during the Kartik month there's many pastimes of Krishna. And of course, Damodar Leela is very much celebrated. It happens on Diwali Day, Diwali itself, and many other. The whole month of Kartik is very special, very special. I'll tell a little pastime that is disclosed to us from Rupa Goswami's writings. Citing Bhavishya Purana, he describes the pastime of Radha binding Krishna, not just Yashoda. In our 10th canto, we have this nice pastime of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna. Radha binds Krishna also. According to Rupa Goswami, his writing says that in Krishna Loka, in the spiritual sky, Krishna was supposed to meet with Radha, but he was late. And he was late because in the house of Nanda, Purnamasi was in charge of a nice Kartik festival. And Krishna was late. So when Krishna finally came to Radha's house, specifically the Sanskrit of Bhavishya Purana says, Radha Griha. He went to her home, presumably Varsana, the place where Radha lived with her mother and father. And Radha was very angry. And she made an angry face. she took a piece of cloth from around her waist and bound Krishna around his waist as like admonishment for his being late. Krishna was very happy. And he explained to Radha why he was late. There was a Kartik festival. And for that reason he was late, so her anger subsided. And then Krishna said, this name of mine, Damodar, has now taken on even more meaning and more importance to me. Those who call this name Damodar will receive all spiritual benefit and so many other nice things. Krishna gives benediction and says that I will, in my earthly pastimes, also be bound by Mother Yashoda with a rope, and thus Damodar. That's the meaning. Damo, Udara, Krishna being bound around the waist, in this case by Radha, during the month of Kartik. So Kartik is a celebrated month, even during Krishna's time, even in the spiritual world. It's a special, special opportunity for festivities. And the Govardhan Leela occurs during this month. As we know, it occurs one day after the new moon or Amavasya. And the pastime itself, there isn't going to be time to narrate because I've really had this experience already. We observed Govardhana Puja yesterday here in America. You're observing today. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes to cover the pastime. So I'm just going to cover the main purposes of Krishna in performing this and his worldly pastimes. We know that the pastimes of Krishna occur in this world once in the day of Brahma. It occurs during the 27th Yuga cycle of the Vaivasvata Manu period during Brahma's day. But these pastimes are actually eternal. And why does Krishna perform eternal pastimes in this world? Answer is very simple. To attract the hearts and the minds of those souls that are in this material world forgetful of him, and for his eternal associates, he performs these pastimes to nourish their natural affection for him. So I'm going to identify 4 purposes of this wonderful, wonderful Govardhan Leela, which I'm sure you're all quite aware of the details. First, in his earthly pastimes, Krishna wants to curb the pride of Indra. It happens when people perform pious activities, they receive the fruits of their pious activities in the form of opulences. We know these 4 from Queen Kunti's prayers: high birth, Janma, Aishwarya, great wealth, beauty, and high education. And persons that have any one of these or combination of these, there's a tendency, unfortunately, to want to become the enjoyer of those opulences. That's what the heavenly realm is all about, and feel pride in the heart. And you know, Krishna doesn't like pride. Whether you're King Indra or whether you're a gopi in Krishna's pastimes, or whether you're a member of ISKCON doing some service to Prabhupada in our society, whoever you are, whoever a devotee is, Krishna doesn't like pride. And so this pastime is enacted purposefully. Krishna considers, I want the pride in Indra's heart to be taken away. So out of affection for Indra, he puts him through some difficulty. And it works. And Indra's pride becomes eliminated. That's one of the purposes. Here's another purpose. Krishna promises to give protection to his devotees. And Krishna likes to give protection to his devotees. But because Krishna is the supreme controller, one might ask, why does a devotee have something happen that requires protection anyway? Because he's the controller, he can protect them just by sending difficulties somewhere else, to the bad people instead of the good people. So why does Krishna need to give protection to anybody? He just sends troubles to bad people. But the devotees, when there's some difficulty, they take shelter of Krishna. They take stronger shelter of Krishna even than when there's no difficulty. And Krishna shows he keeps his promise. He gives protection to his devotees. We know this from Scripture, and we know this from the Leela. Krishna gives protection to the Brijvasis. Even it's Krishna that causes the difficulty by curbing the pride of Indra, etc. Krishna protects his devotees. There's a third purpose, very important purpose, and it has to do with similarly why Krishna appears in this world is to stimulate the love of his devotees through his wonderful pastimes. We all like reading Prabhupada's books. May you spend the rest of your lives carefully reading Prabhupada's books and reading Prabhupada's books and reading Prabhupada's books again, and you'll find newer and newer things in his books. So one of those things you'll find in his translation of Nectar of Devotion, or Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is that Krishna stimulates, the word used by Rupa Goswami is udipan. Krishna stimulates ecstatic love of his devotees through his various pastimes. The residents of Vrindavan, they don't know, although they see because he displays, they don't know his divinity. They don't know his divinity because their intensity of their love is so great. They cannot see the opulences that he presents or displays are because he's God. They see otherwise. So let's say it this way. Krishna he's Bhagavan, so he has all opulences in full, as he does in Vaikuntha or any place else where he makes himself manifest. However, within Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, there's everything. He is the source of everything. He's the source of all avatars, and he's the source of all opulences, and he's the source of all rasa. Rupa Goswami teaches us the spiritual world is bhakti rasa. It's an ocean of bhakti rasa. Bhakti rasa amrita sindhu. It's an ocean of bhakti rasa. And in the science of bhakti rasa, there are primary rasas and there are secondary rasas. And of the secondary rasas, one of them is astonishment. It's one of the 7. So when Krishna shows his opulences to the residents of Braja, what happens? They experience a secondary rasa. The nature of secondary rasas is they rise like a big wave, a wave of astonishment that nourishes the primary rasa, whatever their rasa may be. Secondary rasas nourish, they enhance, they strengthen the primary rasa, although for the time being, that secondary rasa seems to eclipse the primary rasa. And then when that wave subsides, the primary rasa is restored. Right after the Govardhan Lila, there's a whole chapter called Wonderful Krishna. And the residents of Vrindavan, now that the Govardhan Lila has been concluded, they're now feeling another feeling, like, who's Krishna? Anyway, who can lift a hill? Who can do what Krishna does? And then they begin reciting all the wonderful, 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 so many wonderful activities, singing the song of Krishna's wonderful activities, wondering, who is he? Secondary rasas nourish primary rasas. When Krishna shows his opulences to the Brajbasis, which is one of the main purposes of this Govardhan Lila, it's to nourish their primary rasa, all of them, all the different rasas at once. And finally, this is my favorite part of a purpose of Krishna. The nature of relationship is there must be meeting and there must be separation. Now that can be elaborated upon, but there must be separation and there must be meeting. That's the nature of any relationship. Same is true in relationship with Krishna. Sambhoga, Vipralamba, you know these terms. When Krishna performs his pastimes in this world, his prakat lila, there are times when a particular rasa is prominent. Let's just say when Krishna is with the cowherd boys and the cows. Now, the relationship between the cows and Krishna and the cowherd boys and Krishna is different. But those principal relationships are being nourished. However, when he's out with the calves or cows and the cowherd boys, the elders, the parents, his mother and father, they're feeling separation. Want to speak of the gopis, they're feeling separation. And their feelings of separation accentuate or accelerate their feelings of love. And they can't wait until Krishna returns. Or when Krishna returns, the cowherd boys are very sad because they want to be with Krishna. And they have to go home and take a bath and have their meal. And the cows have to go to the Goshal and they just want to be with Krishna. So they moo all night long. Moo. They want to be with Krishna. And when the morning sun comes, they're very happy again because they can be with Krishna. So meeting and separation during the 8 different times of Krishna's daily pastimes. So Krishna wanted to reciprocate with all these devotees, with all their rasas at once. Some of you may know a little bit about music. So at least in the West, they have orchestras and there's musical scores where some persons play reed instruments and some persons play stringed instruments and some persons play trumpets and sometimes the different sounds of those brass instruments. So the composer will sometimes emphasize a particular section of the orchestra and then a combination. It's like waves moving, some waves colliding with other waves. But at some point during the whole orchestra's performance, there's all the instruments are playing all at once. And it's a big crescendo of sound. That's Govardhan Lila. It's that part of Krishna's pastimes where all the rasas at once are being fully nourished and fully satisfied and fully enjoyed. They were having so much ecstasy. They didn't even think, oh, I'm getting hungry. or I'm getting tired, or anything. No eating, no sleeping, no talking, no anything. Just Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. My understanding of why Govardhan Leela is so much appreciated all over the world, regardless of culture, regardless of language, regardless of even understanding what the pastime is. I've had experience in different parts of the world where they don't know nothing about nothing. They don't know what is going on, but it's such a joyful pastime. I mean, I've seen it. People that don't know the language, they're circumambulating Govardhan Hill, chanting Hare Krishna, as happy as can be. There's a joy in observing Govardhan Puja. It's one of Krishna's beloved pastimes. Of course, the Damodar pastime we celebrate for the whole month, and that's a very special pastime also. But during this sacred month, Kartik, the Govardhan Leela is special, special. Special, special. And so today, in India, you're honoring Govardhan Puja, and you'll probably, if you haven't done so already, you'll probably be circumambulating a hill of Govardhan as the original Govardhan Puja was. Big, anukut. I've seen in people's homes, 50 preparations, 100 preparations, 100. Someone sent me a picture of, in their home, 150 preparations. 150 preparations. But something, we make offerings to Krishna because he is being honored on this Govardhan Puja day. And we circumambulate the hill, circumambulate the brahmanas, circumambulate the sacrificial fires, and circumambulate Govardhan Hill. And the cows. So I don't know if there in Mangalagiri you have a goshal, but if you do, I'm sure you'll be honoring and feeding the cows and circumambulating the cows and chanting Hare Krishna like anything. It's a grand festival, and I was asked to speak to all of you on the occasion of Govardhan Puja. So that's my, time-constrained little discussion without all the details of this wonderful Leela. We have the essential elements, and you can read and discuss amongst yourselves as time permits. Also, on this auspicious occasion, during the Kartik month, on the day of Govardhan Puja, there's going to be an initiation yajna. So I think, Murari Chaitanya, you can unmute yourself and tell me what you are expecting to have happen just now with regard to the initiation yajna.
Right now, maybe just to announce the initiative name and I can give you dates.
Okay.
That's not prepared for.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Fine. So on a suitable time, just for your information, in China, they very rarely have fire yajnas because it's China. So initiation takes place in the way that you just described. And then when there's a fire yajna, they sit in on the fire yajna and throw their grains in the fire when there's a fire yajna. So you can arrange something like that. But one additional item besides name is vows that we can do. So everybody's in the temple room before the deities, yes?
Yes, Maharaj.
So vows will be taken before the deity. And so if the camera the one that says ISKCON Mangalagiri, can focus on the initiation candidate, that would be nice. So I can see him. He can see me. Okay? Come close to the camera, wherever the camera is. And you're going to take your vows just now. Okay? Are we ready for the vows? I see you. There you are. Okay, very good. Very good. Hare Krishna. So there's our standard vows. From this day forward, you will continue for the rest of your life chanting minimum how many rounds each day? Unmute, please. Okay, I heard it. And the 4 rules that you'll follow, please recite them. Okay, very good. And one more that I request. Do you take a vow that for the rest of your life, you'll carefully follow the teachings of Srila Prabhupada? Okay, fantastic. So Murari Chaitanya has your initiated beads that have been duly chanted upon, and your initiated name is Shravanananda Das. Shravanananda. Shravana Ananda or Shravanananda. Shravanananda Das. Okay. There, you look very happy. And I'm surprised the persons in your audience there aren't wearing masks, but maybe next time you get together, you can have that policy. Just to be on the safe side, that would be nice. Okay, but I see you're social distancing. That's good. Masks are also good. Just out of concern, not scolding you, just out of concern, because safety is important to observe during this month. So Shravanananda Das, congratulations. You have a nice journey ahead of you going back to Godhead. Stay always in the association of devotees. Remain faithful to our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. And may you be successful in this lifetime. Okay. So I think you can carry on with whatever your activities are over there. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.